And turning to local news now, Holy Rosary High School has recently unveiled their new expansion, and now today Lloydminster Comprehensive High School is showing off their first phase of renovation and expansion.
Well, this is the addition space.
Thanks to funding from both provinces, LCHS has begun work on a $28.8 million renovation. The first phase is now complete and includes 500 square meters of new administrative office and student services space.
To create that hub where students knew where they could access the social emotional supports, the academic supports, the career opportunities down the road. We have an Indigenous grad coach connected to the area where our Indigenous students can go to for that mentorship and for that advocacy.
Students say this new space will give them a better opportunity to access supports.
Our last one was upstairs where two of our main ASTs were, and a lot of people would come and crowd in there and would get really loud and really overwhelming during tests and just getting your work done because there's so many people talking and there's so much noise going on. So I think this area, they keep it more secluded and calm and cool. Like no one's really like walking around or talking like if they don't need to.
You just got sent to somewhere quiet, whether that was the library or upstairs, but in reality it still wasn't quiet. So having this like private area definitely helps people who struggle in a classroom environment or like even with anxiety like myself.
Once the entire expansion is complete, the school will be able to accommodate over 300 grade 9 students.
Getting them with 10s, 11s, 12s, we'll have an opportunity to look at career options down the road, maybe a little bit earlier. Greater selectivity of elective courses at LCHS that aren't available at middle schools currently.
The renovations include breakout rooms for students and room for growth down the road.
And so maybe just that exposure to increase programming opportunities, exposure to older, more mature students will provide a better experience for grade 9s and LPSD.
The second annual Play It Forward event is back in support of Border City Connects. This 12-hour charity hockey game is a fun way to raise funds that goes towards the organization, and Shelby Clark has more.
Joining us today for Primetime Local News is Aaron Buckingham, founder and organizer for the Play It Forward charity hockey game event. Thank you so much for joining us today, Aaron.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Of course, because this is the second annual Play It Forward charity hockey game. Now, for people that may not have heard about the first one, can you kind of tell us what this is all about, what this event is all about?
Yeah, so a year ago, Border City Connects was in need of a new van. And so this is one of the bigger vans that was needed last year to transport people with disabilities and challenges around the city. So there was a grant available. It covered about half the cost of that van. So we were about $65,000 short of actually replacing that van. So with Lloydminster being such a great community, as far as any charity and all the nonprofits always receive great support, but Lloydminster is a big hockey community. So I decided that we'd try and come up with a 12-hour charity hockey game to try and raise the shortfall from last year. And we came so close. Last year's event, the 12-hour game, was a $63,000 fundraiser for Border City Connects. So we were right there. And at the end of the day, we were able to get that van for them. So a great success. And the players and everybody that was involved in it last year had such a great time. And this year, Border City Connects needs to replace one of the caravans. Now, this is the unit that drives people to and from Edmonton or Saskatoon for medical appointments when they don't have the ability to get there themselves. So the last thing I want to see is somebody's grandmother sitting on the side of the road, broke down by Manville on the way to Edmonton for a medical appointment. And the caravan that they're using for this now, one of them is over 300,000 kilometers. So it's time to replace that unit to make sure that we can continue to provide that reliable service to and from these medical appointments. So the goal of this year's game is a $65,000 goal to try and replace that unit to make sure that Border City Connects can continue to provide that service.
And this is an amazing event. I know many people have fun and it's, it does great things. It raises money for some important things in the community, especially with the Border City Connects. Now, can you kind of expand on what exactly the players do and how this exactly works for the Play It Forward event?
Yeah, so last year being the first year, we took the lessons learned from that, and there was very few changes that anybody wanted to make to it. The players had a great time. So we play for 12 hours. There's 4 teams. of 10 people and 2 goalies this year. We added goalies this year because we only had one goalie per team last year. And there were 150 goals, more or less, scored last year. So that tells you they faced a lot of shots. So the goalies asked if we could have a second goalie for every team. So we've got our 8 goalies, which is a great start. And so we play 2 hours on, 2 hours off each team, more or less. This year, we've added, we're moving the event to the Service Sports Center this year because we were able to get ice there. And it's a higher traffic area. So we wanted to make sure people could see the event, come out and support the players, because I know as a player myself, it means a lot to see the people in the stands cheering you on. Just gives you that little extra bit of energy because it is a long day of hockey. And so it's good to see people out there. So we're going to have the OTS room booked above the ice, and we're going to have food in there and beer gardens and so on and so forth. And people can come out and support that. I mean, the important piece for now is trying to fill that roster. I'm about 10 players short for this event. How the money is raised for this event is each player is responsible for raising a minimum $500 per player to play in the game. Some people last year did a phenomenal job. Some players were over $3,000 individually in sponsorship. And of course, anytime you sponsor a player more than $20, Border City Connects will issue you a tax receipt for that amount. So it's all supporting the charity and supporting those players. There's also lots of sponsorship opportunity left available. Now I'm going to do this. You can see these wonderful Play It Forward jerseys that we had done up last year. We gave those to the players kind of as a thank you last year, and a bit of a marketing tool to say, hey, wear these jerseys out and about and support and show people that you've got them. And hey, they'd say, where did you get that jersey? And try and get some awareness of the game. This year, we've got some beautiful new jerseys made up that we're going to keep. So we're looking to get those jerseys sponsored because they are a large expense. And last year, I was unable actually to find a jersey sponsor for the event. So we had to eat that cost, which cut into our profits. So one of the biggest things right now, if people want to get into sponsoring the event, that's going to be huge for us. They can reach out to me to do that.
And perfect. I was just going to ask how people can reach out, so they can reach out to you then if they want to find some more information.
Yeah, absolutely. They can send a message to the Border City Connects Facebook page or to my direct email, which is aaron@onevisionconsulting.ca. And they can reach out to me that way, and we'll get the players lined up, sponsorship lined up, and try and make this event as successful as we possibly can to continue that service. That's the end of the day. These players are out here. They love the game of hockey. They're out there to support the cause. And it's just it's a warm fuzzy is what it is through the whole thing as we try and play it forward to pay it forward to get that van replaced.
I'm sure you'll get some more help and support for the charity hockey game and see that strong support like you did last year. Now, is there any more you want to add on to that I may have missed out for this year's event that you want to let people know about?
Yeah, as far as just the general public goes, come out April 21st at the Service Sports Center. It's 9 to 9. Come out and you can make a donation that day. If your company wants to just come and make a donation that day, we'll have our crews set up there to accept those donations. I think that's the biggest thing, right? It's all about raising as much money as we can for the cause and keeping that service going. So the more support we can get, the better, from players, from companies, from individuals. And we'll be live streaming that game all day on our YouTube channel as well. And I know the guys have done a great job of that in the past. They've got interviews with people that have benefited from the service, people that are big community supporters. Our drivers come out and talk about some of the experiences they've had. So you want to go and see what the game looks like. You can go to Border City Connect's YouTube channel and check out last year's event just to see what it looks like for the day, to give you an idea of what you can expect this year and years going forward. I mean, this is not something we're going to do one and done or two and done. This is something we want to continue to do every year because there's obviously always going to be a need to try and support this cause. So we love doing it. We'll keep doing it as long as we can.
Perfect, Aaron. Well, it was really nice speaking with you today. Really glad we could help get the word out for the second annual Play It Forward event. I think it's going to be quite a success. So once again, thank you for joining us.
You bet. Thanks for having us. We're looking forward to this year's event.
Tomorrow is the Lloydminster Region Job Fair, and Ari's Andrews has a preview of the event.
Today I'm super pleased to be joined here with Terry Lynn, who is the Executive Director of Lloydminster's Chamber of Commerce, and she's going to be speaking to me about Lloydminster and Region Job Fair happening tomorrow afternoon. So thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me today.
Well, thank you for interviewing me today. We're super excited that we'll be hosting this job fair tomorrow.
And to start off with, can you give a little synopsis for the people who may not know what the Lloydminster Region Job Fair is all about?
So tomorrow the job fair will be held at the Gold Horse Casino in the Event Center from 11 till 6. And so we have 40 booths available, or 40 vendors there. They businesses range from let's see here, heavy crude hauling to BPC services to Reeves College. So there's 40 different businesses there that are looking for employees.
And I know it might be too late just because the job fair is actually tomorrow, but for a business who is maybe looking for some more employees and they want to get their name out there, is it too late for them to put a booth in this job fair?
I think we might have one available booth, but after that's because they are setting up today doing the show services. So.
And who exactly is this job fair for? Like, is it for people who are fresh out of high school or fresh out of college, or can it be for anybody of all ages?
It is for everybody. Anybody that's looking for employment, please come down and take a look at the businesses that are hiring.
And I know this is an annual event in Lloydminster, so how many years have you guys actually been doing this job fair?
Well, this is our second year that we've been doing this event with this partnership, but the Lloydminster Chamber of Commerce and the Lloydminster Construction Association had been holding job fairs in the past for many years as well.
And is there anything different at this year's event, say the partnerships that you just mentioned, that is different from past year's job fairs?
No, not. It's mainly just to support our businesses that are looking for employees. And then we've partnered with Onion Lake Employment and Training and Tribal Chiefs Employment Training and Teams Alberta that help employees look for employment. So it kind of gives a well-rounded experience for everybody.
And can you kind of explain what people can expect to see at these booths? Is it like here's a brochure, take it home, look it over, and give us a call, or are there some interactive activities at these booths?
So a lot of it is like they'll be interviewing right on spot. So come with your resumes. And if you don't have a resume, we have 2 resume building booths that can help you go over your resume, fine tune it, and then you could go and speak to some of the employers.
Awesome. And is there anything else that you want to add about this job fair happening tomorrow?
No, it's just if you're looking for employment, please come down to the Gold Horse between 11 and 6 and come and talk to some of the businesses that are hiring.
All right. Well, thank you so much for giving us some insight on this job fair. And I can't wait to see how many people show up and actually get employed from this.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
And stay with us after the break. We check in with the Wrestlers women's hockey team ahead of their playoff push.
Today's oil prices are brought to you by First General Services.
Lakeland College will once again be hosting their Feast on the Farm event this August. Here's Thomas Wildman with more.
Today we have Dr. Alice Wainwright, the president of Lakeland College, and she is here today to talk to us about the Feast on the Farm event that will be happening this coming up summer. And so thank you so much for being with us today, Alice.
My pleasure, Thomas.
And so Alice, tell me a little bit about the Feast on the Farm event.
When we think about the Feast on the Farm, we think of some of the grassroots of harvest time and Alberta experience of having that food to table experience. And so when we think about ours, this is our 6th year. We have the Feast on the Farm on August 17th this year. And what we've done is we put it in a venue. It really is, really supports our student experiences and helps them in ways that proceeds from this experience, helps our students really learn and lead and manage different projects. So if we think about the Feast on the Farm, what it's done in the past, we'll just kind of give you a couple examples. So students wanted to be able to install information centers in their automotive lab. The proceeds one year went to make sure that that station was a place where students could really work with. Another one was students felt that in the student managed farm that they needed a new maternity pen in the Red Barn and the Proceed. So it's a pretty amazing, maybe I'm biased, but it's a pretty amazing experience where that it's really done under a tent. So it's kind of really authentic in terms of we're going to have it on our research area, like it's the same venue that we've used before. Always make provisions when it's an outdoor tent experience, that it's an opportunity for we make sure that if we have to close down the tent so it's warmer in there and have the heaters, we have that too. So full meal out in a tent with entertainment from Garrett Gregory this year. And usually our students are emceeing it and give some opportunities for students to kind of give experiences of what they've done throughout the year.
And then is the food going to be sourced from the student-ran farm there out there in Vermilion from Lakeland, or is it going to be coming from a different source?
So we, what we're doing is with all of the issues that we've had with COVID, we're going to use our Aramark venue. So they'll be providing the food this year for it. We've done some homegrown situations in the past, but we feel this year that we're going to just be really cautious of coming out of COVID and making sure that we've created a healthy situation. So food produced or provided, which they do, it'll be amazing as they usually have done.
And then Alice, if people would like to attend the event, where can they get the tickets, and how soon are the tickets going to be available?
Thank you, Thomas. Well, tickets go on sale on March 8th. So you can look at our website, you can give us a call, you can, there's a link to the ticket sales. Will be right on our website, and it's lakelandcollege.ca/feast. And last year we sold out really quickly. So everyone's starting to realize that this event is kind of I would say it's Lakeland's signature event. It's one that really puts students in the front, but it also is a great evening where our people in our community have an opportunity to engage with students and actually highlight some of the student events that have happened through the year.
Thank you so much for all the information, Alice, and we hope you guys have a wonderful event and a great day.
Thanks, Thomas.
And now it's time for us to take a look at today's agriculture prices. And taking a look at sports now, the Lakeland Rustlers women's hockey team are gearing up for their playoff push. The Rustlers have their first matchup against Red Deer, who finished with a record of 14-6, who ended up sitting one game back of the first seed. The Rustlers ended their season with a 10-10 record, and Coach Morgan Mann is fully aware of the game plan moving forward.
Trying to take away the neutral ice a little bit. Red Deer has a strong defensive core that moves the puck well and can transition north very quickly. So we want to be conscious of that and not make that easy on them.
Despite being underdogs in the matchup, Coach Mann views playoff hockey as anyone's game.
Well, the thing about playoff hockey, it doesn't really matter where you finish. It's a clean slate now. We love the schedule. We're in there on 4 o'clock on Friday. Back here 7 o'clock on Saturday night. So we beat them before, they beat us. It's who brings their A game on Friday night.
The series versus Red Deer is the 2-3 matchup, with the winner playing for gold against either Nate or Olds College. And that's a new program. So it's great to see those ladies doing so well in their first couple of years here playing at Lakeland College. It's time now, though, for us to check in with Shelby Clark, who has another look at weather.
Thanks again so much, Mr. Jace Mackey. Yes, now taking another extended look at your weather forecast. We'll be starting off with our central zone of the provinces. From what we have been seeing now, some spots have slightly warmed up from what we were looking at yesterday, especially over in Jasper at that 3-degree mark. So quite a switch up over in that area, and we are still kind of seeing those double digits in the rest. -8 in Edson, while it is -10 in Edmonton, and most spots are seeing around -10 to -13 degrees over on our Alberta side. So slightly cooler, but not by too much. You know, -13 is still the coolest condition we are looking at. Cold Lake is also seeing that single digit with Edson at -8. Switching over to our Saskatchewan side, they are kind of matching with us with those conditions, slightly cooler. The coolest we are looking at on our Saskatchewan side is -16 in Melfort. We are seeing that -15 in Prince Albert, -13s for North Battleford, and still over in Saskatoon. And Meadow Lake is right there at probably the warmest there with -10 on our Saskatchewan side. Now as we go over to our northern zone, they actually are matching with us more now in our central area, so they haven't cooled down by too much compared to what we have been seeing yesterday. -8 for both Laloche and Buffalo Narrows. The rest are seeing those double digits. -12 up in Uranium City, while it is -13 for Wollaston Lake and down in Flin Flon. And of course, we are seeing that -14 and -16 for the rest. Going back over to our Alberta side here, most are actually seeing those single digits, which is really nice. -7 for Fort McMurray, -8, -9 for Peace River and Slave Lake. And then we got those -11s and -12s on the board on our Alberta side. So we all are kind of still matching. And now as we go over to our southern zone, Banff is kind of course, matched with Jasper, seeing around that, reaching those plus digits with that 0 mark over in Banff. Medicine Hat at that single digit with -9, but then we still have some slightly cooler temperatures in the rest. -12 in Lethbridge, and we're seeing that -13, -14. But you know, at least we are still sitting at those teens, you know, those mid-teen temperatures. So I don't think we can complain too much. We aren't hitting those -20s to -30s yet, or with those extreme cold warnings. Going over to our Saskatchewan side, they are kind of matching with these temperatures. Most are around -13, -14 degrees. The coolest we are seeing is Yorkton, just at -15, but that is still the coolest conditions. So I think we should all still be pretty happy from what we are looking at here. Now looking at our hourly forecast for our Wednesday here in the border city. Not looking too bad whatsoever. I mean, we are starting off slightly cooler, of course, for tomorrow morning. -19, almost hitting that -20 as we go on through the evening. But as we go through our midday, mid-afternoon, we will be warming up to around -14, -13. So kind of matching from what we are seeing for today. So we are still expecting those double digits throughout the day, and hopefully we will be seeing a little bit more sunshine peeking behind those clouds from what we saw today. But we are kind of expecting a gloomier day for tomorrow. And as we go through tomorrow evening around 8 p.m., 10 p.m., we will be hitting that -16, -17 degrees. Now looking at starting off with our 3-day forecast here, we will be seeing that -13, like I was saying, kind of matching with what we saw for today. We are not expecting too much sun peeking behind those clouds, but then that sun will start to come out as we hit Thursday there, and even warming up to that -11. And as we move into Friday, starting off the weekend, we'll even be hitting that single digit once again with -7. Slight breeze in the afternoon expected. But of course, we will be warming up with that temperature. You know, we're well used to a lot cooler conditions. And we will be continuing on that single-digit pattern for the next few days after Friday. As we go into the weekend, we'll be hitting that -5 Saturday and Sunday. But as you can see, definitely around 100% chance of those flurries on Saturday. And, you know, we can't really get away from those ones unless that decides to switch up as we go through the week. And expected 5 to 10 centimeters of some snow on Saturday. So even though we got the good with the bad, the nice temperature, we will be seeing that snowfall. Make sure you got those shovels ready. We're expecting a lot more than usual. And as we head into next week, we will be starting off quite warm. That -6 on Monday and seeing that -4 next Tuesday. That's all I have for now. RJ's Mackey, we're having news coming up for you after the break.
I'm back at Border Paws Animal Shelter for another edition of Pet Project, and we have in front of me probably one of the sweetest cats I've ever met. She just wants cuddles. She just wants love. She wants cuddles more than treats, so I think that says a lot.
Yep.
Her name is Eloise, and she came in as a stray. Tell me a little bit about her and her story and how she came here.
So yeah, she came to us a little while back. She was quite malnourished, very dehydrated, needed fluids, that kind of thing. Quite beat up too, so you could tell another cat had, you know, taken a round out of her. But yeah, no, she was very scared of humans. But then actually one of our employees, she took her home and worked with her for about a month. And now look at her, right?
Yeah.
She like demands the cuddles and everything. She's a very laid back cat. I'm not sure how she does with other cats. So we'd probably have to test that. But a slow introduction, you might be okay. But yeah, she'd be good with kids, older people, younger people. We haven't tested her with dogs yet either, so I'm not really sure about the dogs. But you never know. Right? Until
Again,
you
that's
really
just-
try it out. Exactly.
Yeah,
And we
again,
do
that's-
have, anytime somebody adopts an animal, we do have 30 days they can bring the animal back. Unfortunately, you wouldn't get your money back because it's already gone into other parts of the shelter, but you do have that 30-day trial. So then if it doesn't work out, you can exchange for a different cat.
And if they do have pets already established and you want to kind of, like with Eloise, you don't know if she's okay with other cats or dogs, would they be able to bring their dog here or cat here to kind of introduce them?
So
or
with dogs, we usually, like, especially if you're adopting a dog, we make you bring your dog just so we can. It's kind of hard with cats though because it's such a stressful, whenever a cat leaves the house, it's a stressful environment. We definitely would be up for it though. We could do it up front here and see how it goes. The thing with cats though is I find it's kind of slow introduction is they could hate each other like the first 5 minutes and then 10 minutes later they're best friends. We actually had these two cats we put together and they were beating each other up and we were about to separate them and then 2 seconds later they were cuddling. So cats are definitely interesting.
yes, but you would never believe that she was didn't like humans before because she, like I said, she's the sweetest cat. She came right up to me and cuddled into me, so she would definitely make a great addition, and hopefully if you do have other pets, she warms up to them or vice versa, they warm up to her.
And she doesn't seem to mind being around the cats in the other cages around her, so. She seems very chill, so.
Yeah, it's promising, it's promising for
And definitely
sure.
a good cuddler. If you want to cuddle her, she's your girl.
Yes, just like this. So you have a couple events at PetSmart specifically, and then you're bringing one of them here as well, the
Pop to Adopt.
Yep.
So yeah, that's going on all week at PetSmart. Each day we're at PetSmart from 12 to 3, and we've got about 12 cats there as well as a different dog each day. So yeah, you can come, and once you've decided who you want to adopt, you just get to pop a balloon, and there's discounts anywhere from 10 to 50% off in the balloon. And then yeah, we've decided we're going to do it at the shelter here too. So if you want to come down here or PetSmart, we've got animals at both.
And how long is this going for?
So it is going on till Sunday. We aren't open here at the shelter on Sunday, but I will be at PetSmart this Sunday from 12 to 3 with a bunch of cats.
And we talked about this event last week, but you have the booze raffle going on as well. How is that going? And kind of give some just description if somebody didn't see last week.
Yeah, so we've got our booze raffle. We've got a few different local liquor stores and Fourth Meridian. They all donated to us. So it's a lot of alcohol and some good stuff in there too, right? As well as we have some beer mugs that are engraved with our logo. So you just go online. Last week I had said it's $10 a ticket. It's actually $5 a ticket. So we lowered that.
Even better.
Yeah, exactly, right? And then there's only 500 tickets being sold, so your odds are pretty good. And it's going really good so far. We're going to run it all the way up to March 16th, unless we sell out before then. And I believe our event coordinator told me that we're at about 320 tickets sold.
Awesome.
So it's going really good. So, and I mean, it's a great deal for $5. You're supporting a good cause. And I mean, if you win,
you get a lot.
And the odds are good. You only have 500 people to compete with, so.
Exactly. And is there any other events coming up that you'd like to mention?
So that one for right now is the booze raffle, and then again at the end of the month we'll be back at PetSmart for the end of the month, and we'll have a spin the wheel event going on that weekend, and I believe there's some in the works, just don't have the details yet.
And like I ask every week, is there any Is there any donations that you're in need of specifically?
So again, cat food, very, very low on cat food, wet, kibble, adult, kitten, and then blankets. I mean, this weather, you know, it tricks us that it wants to be nice and then back to freezing cold. And we do have some little puppies, so we go through sheets like crazy. So yeah, any bedding we can definitely use, towels, blankets, sheets, all that kind of stuff. If you got some old comforters, I know the dogs really enjoy the comforters. So any of that, and then yeah, just always food.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for joining me today. And I've said it a couple times already, Eloise is one of the sweetest cats that I think we've ever talked about on here. And I think she'd make a great addition to anybody's household. So thank you.
Thank you.
Furniture set and design supplied by Furniture Gallery and Furniture House, downtown Lloydminster.
So I'm here with Carla, who's the coordinator for the IPN Night. So Carla, can you just tell us a little bit about what IPN Night is?
Yeah, so IPN is Irish Pub Night, and it's the Border City Rotary Club's annual fundraiser.
And has Border City Rotary Club teamed up with any other companies for funding for this event?
Yeah, so our title sponsor this year is PWM Steel, and we've been so fortunate to have them as one of our title sponsors for quite a few years, actually.
And is there anything else small that you'd like to say that I haven't brought up so far?
So tickets are available. It's the early bird price is $45, and they're online. And on March 13th, it goes to the general price, which is $55. They will be available at the door as well. And just come out and have a good time. It's on St. Patrick's Day, so it's the biggest party in town to help celebrate the Green Day.
And where will this event take place exactly?
It's happening in the Culligan Water Building down at the Lloydminster Exhibition Ground.
And can you tell us what kind of entertainment will be at the venue?
So this year we have Garrett Gregory coming back. He was with us last year. He is a local to Hannah, Alberta country music artist, and he's a ton of fun to have.
And will there be any sort of refreshments or food at the venue as well?
So it's a big party, lots of dancing. A lot of our patrons wear some fun green things. So it's your one and only chance to wear some kooky green costume pieces. There will be beverages there, and there'll be a midnight lunch.
And is there any final comments that you have, Carla, just to give us a little bit more information?
We look forward to seeing everybody out there. It's our annual fundraiser, and so the more people, the better. It helps us to help somebody within our community.
Speaking of entertainment, we also have Garrett Gregory here with us, who will be performing at the IPN Night. Do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself, Garrett?
Yeah, my name's Garrett Gregory. I'm from Hannah, Alberta. I've been singing country music for about, 8 years, and released 2 songs to charts, and they're doing really well right now. It's a great time, and we've played the Irish Pub Night in Lloyd once before, and it's an absolute blast. It's so much fun. So we have a great time doing that, and I can't wait for this year's.
And what kind of genre would you say that your music fits into?
It is if you had to fit it anywhere, I guess country music would be sort of close, but it's also kind of a mix with rock too. So, I mean, it is more self-tuned for sure. I kind of write according to how I feel and what I've always liked growing up, and those kind of sounds, and mix them all kind of together. I would be probably the farthest from country in the country genre, but it's a distinct sound for sure.
And is there any final comments that you'd possibly like to add on as well?
Other than March 17th being extremely fun, that is pretty much it. It's going to be one heck of a party. We've got we've learned a whole bunch of new songs for our set list and everything, and they're all going to be partying pretty hard. So it should be good.
Thank you so much, Garrett.
All right, ending off with another look at your 7-day forecast. We will be expecting another cool day tomorrow with -13. Looking at that double digit once again Thursday with a mixture of some sun and clouds, so we'll get a little bit more sun there on Thursday. Then we are hitting those single digits for Friday into our weekend on Saturday and Sunday, although getting a high chance of those flurries Saturday 5 to 10 centimeters. Be prepared. And as we head into next week, we will be seeing those single digits continue on with -6 next Monday and -4 next Tuesday.